Of course, everyone on this table wants to talk about England. However, some of us do also like the rest of the World Cup sides. Wales take on USA in the other game in this group, and this will be an interesting one because USA come into this under a little bit of pressure. People seem to think they've got a better side than what they've had in previous tournaments, which is probably true. And Wales come into this tournament without their main man, Gareth Bale, playing much football, but he's still Wales's main man. Where do you sit with this game? Because I think this is probably England's biggest threat of which of these two sides could actually qualify.
Yeah, I think this is huge for Wales. I think Wales, for both of these teams, lose this one, you're worried, and I don't. Yeah, that's kind of giving away my prediction a little bit later on. I think that could affect the mindset of them. But USA, they want to be pretty attacking here. They're quite, the manager's a bit of a hipster, and some of his tactics have been described as weird. So the way that they play a lot of the times, they kind of keep the ball in the middle of the pitch for long periods of time, and then look to suck out the opposition, and then able to kind of hit him behind at times. They've got players, they really do, but I think we speak about a lot of international teams and how they're a little bit too conservative. It feels like the US are a little bit the opposite direction. I'm concerned about the two centre-backs. I'm a massive fan of Anthony Robinson. I think he's amazing. But he likes to get on. Dest likes to get on, and that will leave spaces in behind. And I think that's the big thing for Wales, who actually, Wales-Iran, I think, is a more difficult customer for Wales.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, low blockbuster. Because this game, having a bit of space to counter-attack, that's where Wales are really strong. Because the front three, Kweku, they've got a lot of pace about them. Bale a little bit less so, but yeah, on the counter-attack with Dan James, Bale, and Brennan Johnson, they've got something there.
They have got something. If you talk to Wales fans, I've got my best mate's Welsh. He's trying to claim they're playing with no pressure. There's no pressure. It's their first World Cup since 1958. But they're expected to qualify out this group. And like you say, this game against USA is the crunch game for them. They'd probably prefer to play Iran in the first game, build that confidence, and then take it from there. But you've got players in Gareth Bale mainly that can do it in moments, and this is what the World Cup's always about. It's tournament football. It's about the biggest moments. Dan James gives you the ability to run in behind that, create space elsewhere on the pitch. But I think it's probably going to come down to a set piece for Wales. It's going to come down to maybe a Gareth Bale free kick or a ball being crossed in and Kiefer Moore comes off the bench. Yep. They're going to have to utilise the size of their squad. I like them defensively. I heard Ethan Ampadu talking earlier this week, and he's speaking with a lot of confidence. I think there is confidence within this Wales side that they can go out and perform. It is the last hurrah, last dance for a lot of this Wales golden generation. We probably won't see Aaron Ramsey at another major tournament. We definitely won't see Gareth Bale at another major tournament. So I think there's this they're galvanised by the fact that this is their chance to go and perform on the world stage, and I can see him getting a decent result against USA, whether that is a draw or whether that is a win.
The thing about this game is, I think it really suits Wales. Because you come up against USA, and like you say, USA only have one way of playing for whatever reason. Because you've got Tyler Adams, you've got Weston McKennie, and you've got Musa in midfield.
It's a good midfield.
Yeah, it's a really good midfield. And you throw in Aronson in there. Personally, I would play a diamond in their midfield, but they tend to play 4-3-3. They've got your favourite player up front in Mr. Joshua Sargent,
the general. He's been playing really well for Norwich this year.
He has. I won't explain why he's your favourite player, but I think you got Ryan on one side and Pulisic. The worry for me for USA is Pulisic is the man they go to. 21 goals for USA in 52 caps. He's the player that they want as their star boy, like Bale is for Wales, but he hasn't played enough club football, and so when he's gone and played for USA, he hasn't looked very good, and that's where I go. Wales, on the other hand, will go, just keep throwing yourself in, because Wales have the dogged attitude, and then they're just going to hit the ball into their channel to Dan James, who's a real weapon, and Brennan Johnson on the other side, and then you've got Bale in the middle, who I think might actually play a little bit like Ronaldo. Hang in the box, wait for moments, take moments, because he's a killer in the box.
Clutch, isn't he, as well?
Yeah, and he loves these moments. So I fear for USA in this group, because if they had more balance, they could actually be a good team, because they've got very good players.
I think it's, Berhalter, the manager, it feels like, I'm not an expert on USA, you guys can tell us, but everything I read or watch, it's just like, it feels like he's the stumbling block.
Yeah.
And you say with the balance and playing Musa as a deep line 6, he's not totally suited to that role, and that does feel like a problem for me. And if you're not got quality throughout the team, that's when maybe you should be that little bit more careful or conservative somewhere. And I just think they're a little bit soft.
Do you think for Wales on the opposite end, they're hoping too much on Gareth Bale?
So I think Brennan Johnson will be huge for Wales, because the thing that he has, as much as dribbling ability, and football's space versus possession, and the US might have possession, but if there's that space into those channels, that's where they can really hurt the opposition. I think it's even for service for Bale or Keith Moore if he comes on. But one thing I love about Brendan Johnson is he's got amazing composure, and I think I expect him to step up. And getting onto the predictions with all this just screams 1-1 for me. Yeah, just because for both of them, I think if it's Iran, you're going, we need to win this. Let's kind of have a real go at this. For both of these, if they get a draw, then the number one thing in World Cups is don't lose that first game.
Well, that's it, and I think you can hear it from both of the managers. When you hear Belharter speak about this Wales side, he's given them a lot of credit and said they're basically a Premier League side. And then when you hear Rob Page, obviously Rob Page is always humble in press conferences and interviews, and he's underplayed how good this Wales side are, and he's bigged up the USA. So it does scream draw in this one, and I think both sides won't be that dissatisfied with that result.
I'm going to go the opposite way. I think Wales will be going, we play England in the last game. We don't want it to go down to that game because they'll be going Iran in between, USA play England in between. So I think USA will go, if we win this and put all the pressure on Wales, then Wales are in bother and then we qualify. So I think USA go for this, but I think Wales will win because USA go for it. Yeah.
Right.
I'm going 2-1 Wales. Kiefer Moore off the bench. That guy's going to be a weapon in this World Cup because you cannot stop him in the box.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.